United Banten. Do you have any comments for today's match, Coach, please?
Well, first of all, congrats to Pelita for the season. They had a 13-0 run before this game, and that proves the type of team that they are. They are a championship team, and our goal coming up to this game was to prove that we are a championship contender as well. Regardless of the situations that we have in the standings and the reasons that took us to this situation, we wanted to prove today that we can compete at this level, and we really did. I think that we played the game with character, with personality, with also being smart, and I think we played the game to have a bigger difference than this 11-point difference. But overall, I'm very happy for the defensive performance of our team, and kudos to my players for the game that they played.
Okay, thank you, Coach. For DJ, do you have any comments for today's match, please?
It was a good game. We followed the game plan, and we were consistent. For the most of the game, and PJ is a good team. We just showing that we're a good team as well. So we're gonna stay consistent and keep playing.
Okay, thank you. Untuk teman-teman media, silakan kalau mau bertanya.
Tama from Go Basket, Coach. I just curious. With you playing in the BCL as well, you played earlier than PJ before after the Hari Raya's break. So does that help your team to get to the rhythm faster than PJ because they got extra day off? Thank you.
This is a question that is impossible to answer. You never know. We have had this not because of the Fetrir, but because of our calendar. We have had this situation before where we played many games, and all of a sudden we didn't have a game in 2 weeks. So of course it's not something easy to adjust, but I'm not sure that the game we played today, both teams, you could see or reflect that a team was out of rhythm. I think when we played face to face, we were better in some aspects of the game that gave us the lead, and that's all. But probably if you ask their coach, they may have some concerns about not playing in a couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations for the win tonight. Can you just talk about your locals players like Brian, Dio, Hardy, just on their defense, limiting Amari Archibald tonight?
Well, I feel that the situations that we had to deal in the previous months helped those players to perform, even though we were not winning some games, but helped them to perform at a higher level or at a more consistent level, I would say. And I feel that this prepared them to play solid when the big games come, today. Pache, Brian did a very good job. Also, Rio in some moments, Hardianos today also played defensively good job. DJ, all the perimeter players, but I think it was overall a team defense, a very consistent performance in rebound, and all I hope is that the locals, we don't have to consider them the locals. Like we are a team. We have 12, 15 players that can play because of two long-term injuries. 15 players that can perform anytime they step on the court. That's how I feel about them. Sometimes the rotation is longer. Sometimes we play with less players like today. But I feel that everyone is ready to perform at a good level for the team.
Thank you, Coach. DJ, like Coach said, we're just gonna call them players. So how nice it is for you as a point guard to have everybody healthy now?
It's amazing. Our locals, they've been doing good. I was the only foreigner for about a month and a half, and like Coach said, they gave them a lot of confidence. And now with a full team, they know that they can play at any situation. So they've been doing great, and everybody's doing good. We just got to stay focused and humble, and keep going.
6 3-point shots tonight. Was it more like you feeling it tonight, or just you saw what the defense gave you?
I kind of knew what kind of defense they were going to play, just getting my mind ready and, just doing whatever it takes to win, not trying to force anything. But I knew I wouldn't, be able to pass as much tonight just because they don't want that. So, I was trying to get my mind ready and, make shots and plays.
can you just get your thoughts on Hardianus tonight? You know, he came in just, you know, lighting the lights out tonight, you know, shooting really well.
Oh man, you know, like I said, he did great tonight. I told him, you know, made some big shots, defense, and you know, he deserved it. You know, he stays consistent and works hard. So you know, everything he did is worth it.
All right, thank you.
Coach, PJ makes 12 turnover, but Dewa only score 4 points from turnover. Why they will be unable to score?
Well, I think we kind of control the pace, the tempo of the game, and sometimes I give the players the opportunity to run, and sometimes DJ or Hardianus had more the sense of controlling the game, especially when you have a game with these 12, 15 points lead. You don't want to rush things, and sometimes after turnover, our mentality would be to run and to score easily. But when a team is with such a big lead, you don't want to lose it with mistakes and try to control the turnovers. The turnovers. So I feel like we were this type of team tonight, where we knew every moment of the game, or most of the time, what we wanted to play. When we needed to run, when we needed to stop. And probably because of this, we didn't score so much after turnover.
Oke, teman-teman media ada yang mau bertanya lagi? Oke, so the post-match press conference done. Thank you DJ, thank you coach. Good night. It's a post-match press conference, Pelita Jaya Basketball Jakarta versus Dewa United Banten. Do you have any comments for today's match? Coach Dave, please.
Yes. Good evening. I thought tonight was maybe one of our worst games. Maybe not our worst game. I thought one of our games we won was worse, but I think it was probably our worst game from a standpoint of just grit and toughness and attitude and force and urgency and just everything that we've been about this year, we were not about tonight. So that has to come back on me. For some reason, it didn't connect tonight between coach and player and just what we do. And energy-wise, I don't think we had it at all. That's no excuse. We just didn't have it. And they hit every shot they could possibly hit. And so that's a lot of credit to them. You know, teams on the road, not really much to lose, playing free, playing confident. They're playing with their imports now. And they made some big shots, you know, some timely shots, and made us pay for some of the ridiculous coverages and defenses that we were playing that we didn't work on. And so, again, we got to go back and figure out why those things happen and how we correct those things. But I would say this. I think it was time for something like this to happen for us. Not that we wanted to lose, but I definitely believe that we needed something like this because in the end, I think, you know, not that we don't work hard and not that these guys are so professional every single day, which they are, but we need a little bit of a wake-up call. And unfortunately, it happened today, but I believe that we can grow from this, and we will, and go back to the drawing board and correct some things. We're not far off. We missed 23 threes that were normally wide open. We missed, I can't tell you how many layups we missed or things right at the rim. And so got to the free throw line so many times, drawing fouls, putting pressure on the defense, and just couldn't figure out how to score the basketball. So, you know, it was an us thing tonight, in my opinion. Credit to those guys. They played harder than us, absolutely. But we got to make sure that these things don't happen, and that's going to start next week at practice.
Thank you, Coach. For Hendrik, do you have any comments for today's match, please?
Yeah, for me, I think it's a wake-up call for us players. I think we've been too chill because we've never been in the situation that we win like 3-0. For sure, we got like all the hustle this day, like crazy. They want it more than us, and I think it's a wake-up call for us that we need to prepare for the next game with more grit and and bounce back there.
Thank you, Hendrik. Teman-teman media, silakan kalau mau bertanya.
Coach Tama from Go Basket. This is the same question that I asked Dewa in the previous press conference.
Okay.
Dewa played in the BCL, which is more competitions, more game. So do you think with the more games that they've played, they can get back to their rhythm faster after the long break? Because this is your first match after the long break, right? So do you think that the more games you played, you can get to your peak performance faster?
I mean, it helps, but we don't look at that's why the reason we lost. They, good for them. They're finally playing with their full team. I know that's what they wanted all season long. I only want to compete with them with their full team. That's the way that I like it. But, you know, I think it helps. But for me, it's never easy to come off of a break and just jump into a game like that. But it is what it is. I mean, we don't pick the schedule. We play the schedule. So it's our job to go out there and be ready for those games and turn it on and get the energy up. And there's really no excuse for it. I mean, every team has those nights. But for me, some of the stuff was inexcusable tonight, some of the things that we did, and just really just the standard that we want to play with. We did not play with tonight, and people can blame the shooting and stuff like that. Absolutely. I think if we do shoot normal, maybe we win. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we have to just be better in so many other areas. And I expect us to respond well, I'll be honest. I expect us to bounce back, and I'm going to really force that at practice, demand that a little bit of practice. I know the boys are very upset about this, We don't like losing. We're not used to losing, and I'm looking for a really, really strong week of practice next week, and then, after the next break, then headed into the next week and playing that game. But this one will sting because we got to wait a little while, and I know that these guys will be ready for the next game, and I think everybody will see a different team.
Selamat malam Mas Dede. Pertanyaannya mungkin kekalahan ini jadi penting gak sih buat Pelita Jaya karena 13 kemenangan beruntun gitu untuk menghadapi playoff gitu, atau mungkin sebelumnya dari pemain menginginkan targetnya menang 20-0 pada babak reguler ini. Terima kasih.
Ya yang pasti kita nggak mau kalah ya. Tapi menurut aku ini kekalahannya yang sangat penting untuk kita. Soalnya masih jauh dari playoff dan kita menerima kekalahan ini ya buat jadi evaluasi juga biar kita tahu gimana situasinya buat bounce back dari kekalahan. Jangan sampai ya mungkin kalau di dunia yang sempurna kita bisa menang semua di season, terus mungkin ada situasi kita kalah di playoff di game kedua atau game 3 terus kita panik karena kita belum pernah ngerasain namanya kalah. Jadi menurut aku ini ya lumayan bagus buat kita juga ya, meskipun ya agak bete juga ya kalah namanya ya, tapi ya bakal bounce back sih buat next game.
Coach, you cut the deficit to 1 point, I think in the almost at the end of the third quarter, I think.
Right.
And then you guys lost your composure, and then I think, did you feel that you guys lose the tempo after that? After that momentum.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think we were unorganized and transitioned a lot tonight. I thought we were sometimes messy with our passes, our reads. I thought our heads were down. We had seals and post-ups. I thought we were screening when they had small people guarding our bigs instead of just throwing the ball inside. I thought when we did have a mismatch, we held the ball and let them double team us instead of just go immediately and attack the smaller players. So it was a combination of a lot of things, but definitely I felt like we spent too many time on the referees tonight. And to be quite honest, I thought we got some calls. They were definitely physical. I think there were some calls that were missed, but overall, if you shoot 29 free throws, I don't think that we should be complaining as much as we were. So again, that's another situation where composure and just focusing on the game, we have to do a much better job with that. But I just think people were frustrated because our shots weren't falling. And I think that's the hardest thing in basketball is when the normal shots that we hit that are wide open, that Pross is missing and Jeff is missing wide open shots, and Darius, first play of the game, wide open, and Maury, wide open shots, is what we normally make. So I think that affected us a little bit, probably made us a little bit more tense, and I think it affected our decision making at times. So for me, we have to be better, and we have to not let that affect us, and when we get in those moments, we have to be more composed.
Can you just talk about the matchup, especially the big men? Now they have Ibarra and Troy playing together.
Yeah.
Did they make it tougher for you guys, to attack the basket? That's why you guys shot more 3-point shot.
Nah, we've shot 33s this year. We've shot above 26 this year. I mean, we're the number 1 3-point shooting team in the league by far, and it was our off night. But I don't think so. I don't think there was they were blocking a bunch of shots. I mean, there was a couple times they did, and they affected it, and those two guys are good players. But I just think we rushed. I think we had so many chances around the basket to compose ourselves and use our feet and finish strong, and we just went fast and just threw it off the glass, either expecting a foul or off balance or whatever it is. So we just got to be controlled in those situations and sharper. And I thought when we got fouled or we finished. And I don't know how many and ones we missed where we were right there at the rim, and we throw it up and don't focus on our finishing. So, I mean, all that stuff adds up, man. All that stuff adds up. And for me, those are two tough players. But, I mean, I just think if we're better tonight, just individually better and putting the ball away in those moments, I think it won't matter. Yeah.